All right. Good morning. Good morning. It's morning on my end. Is this recording? Sometimes this app just tends to just do its own thing. So I'm not quite sure if this is recording. I believe it is. Uh, so I assume I'm recording. Anyways, I'm going to be doing something different today. If you're just joining, here's my pre-market view where I share my thoughts on stocks I will be watching in the pre-market and why. Now, usually I have a bunch of slides, but look, I think one has to be different, and sometimes we need to get into the numbers and not just move slides. Show the numbers. This is a market. These are living numbers, and so it's okay to show the numbers. And so let's start with Fidelity Bank. Fidelity Bank first on my watch list, and it's quite simple why this bank is going to be on my watch list. And I can blow it up. You can see slight dip in profit, but the firm will not be paying a dividend for H1 2025. Now, Fidelity Bank usually pays an interim dividend. They will not be doing so. In case I'm sure you were wondering, why isn't this bank going to be paying a dividend? And it's quite simple. I'll get into it. The firm has negative retained earnings. Retained earnings, in essence, you can think of it as a piggy bank. And so you can see note 35 here, and I'll just blow it up. Negative retained earnings. And the question is, I have a fair idea, but I need confirmation from the bank. I'm sure they will address it when they do their earnings call. I'd also be looking at for their 9 months 2025 numbers that should give us more details. Negative retained earnings, essentially you have an empty piggy bank, an empty bank account, because retained earnings is where you keep your profit. And so if your retained earnings is negative and it has turned negative in H1 2025, the question you ask yourself is what led to it becoming negative. I think it's a reserve situation. Maybe regulatory rules meant that they had to pay some money. Now the bank refers us to note 35, and let's see if I can get there on time. I need to get this video out ASAP. We go to note 35. Now, note 35 doesn't give me the explicit answers I want because you have a bunch of things in note 35. But the closest I can think, and 35B says the question is, the bank made a transfer of 303.4 billion to its statutory reserves during the period. As at FY 2024, it was 42.4 billion that was transferred. So there was a big bounce transfer to statutory reserves. That is the closest I can think. Of course, the bank refers us to note 35. So that is the reason why Fidelity Bank is on my watch list. Investors will be unhappy. I expect this bank to fall between 5 to 10%. I expect the stock to fall between 5 to 10% in today's trading session. But the markets are irrational. It is possible that this stock may end up not falling. It is possible the stock may gain. Even though I think sentiment will be bearish on the stock. So that's what's behind my putting Fidelity Bank on my watch list. Heartbreak for investors who are expecting an interim dividend, and that will not be happening. Now, Guinness Nigeria on my watch list as well. The stock seems to be bearish. Looking at technicals, technicals have it 13 indicators say sell, 9 say neutral, 4 say buy. I wonder which says buy. Moving averages, especially the short-term moving averages, 10, 20, 30, and 50-day moving averages say sell. So clearly RSI is neutral, oscillator says sell, momentum says sell, MACD says sell. So clearly all these indicators largely mostly sell. So I was kind of wondering, why is this stock on a downtrend? What's happening? What's leading to this stock being on a downtrend despite the broad recovery in the market? So Guinness Nigeria, I think we may have a further downtrend in the stock. And then I'm looking at Dangote Cement. Dangote Cement is a big cap stock. I'm wondering, why is this stock in the red? I mean, it's neutral technically speaking, but if you notice, the stock had been dipping in intraday trading. So clearly, the average 9 sell indicators, as you can see, the middle figure there, 9 sell indicators, 8 neutral, 9 buy. So you might argue it's neutral, but the moving averages, 10, 20, 30-day moving averages say sell. RSI says neutral. But I continue to watch this stock. So these are the stocks I will be watching, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I'm not sure if I gave the disclaimer. I'll say it. Nothing I say is investment or trading or personal finance advice. You do your own research. Let's just see, is there anything out of the ordinary? Is there anything major that we need to know just before I end this video? I don't think there's anything out. I mean, usual stuff. I went through some of these numbers as well. McNichols, you having the MD's wife has been selling for a couple of months. Who's buying? I don't know. So, but nothing much to see there. So that's pretty much about it. See you at midday with the midday update.